Hi there, and thanks for joining us on Sell, Serve, Prosper Radio. Now, in this podcast, I've come across a great article that I want to share with you, and I want to talk about how you can use this article from a guy, not Steve Martin, the comedian. It's in Harvard Business Review. It's actually a couple of years old, but so relevant. Steve Martin's 6 Reasons Salespeople Win or Lose a Sale. And it's a great podcast. So join us and get ready to take some notes, because this will make you money.
Sell, Serve, Prosper Radio with Leigh Farnell.
Hi, welcome back. As I said in the introduction, this is a podcast where I've come across an article by a guy called Steve Martin, Steve W. Martin, on Harvard Business Review back in 2017. Now, this guy, Steve Martin, teaches sales strategy at the University of Southern California at the Marshall School of Business. He's got a book titled Heavy Hitter IT Sales Strategy, Competitive Insights from Interviews with 1,000 Key Information Technology Decision Makers. So clearly he's done a study, interviewed, surveyed 1,000 decision makers, and he's reporting on some of those findings in this article. But here he's gone, why does a salesperson lose a sale? He said, it's a question I've studied for years, part of the win-loss analysis research that he conducts. He did a survey, and here he's talking about 230 buyers doing a 76-part survey, and what he found when he analysed the data. Just take a look at this. Number one, why do salespeople fail, win or lose? Some customers want to be challenged. He said the survey shows 40% of study participants prefer a salesperson who listens, understands, and then matches their solution to solve a specific problem. Now, that's clearly what we talk about in the Colour Zone selling system, Blue Zone, where we discover the need and we use the POMVIC strategy to delve down into pain points, problems, past purchases, and other P's that are very important. Also O, as in we talk about the delta. But what he also shows is, he says 30% prefer, another 30%, a different 30%, prefer a salesperson who earns their trust by making them feel comfortable, because they'll take care of the customer's long-time needs. So that's the rapport factor. Know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust. KLT, know, like, and trust. So that's the rapport and knowing how to connect with people, the likability factor. But look at this, another 30%, a different 30%, want a salesperson who challenges their thoughts and perceptions and then prescribes a solution that they may not have known about. In other words, intellectual, paradigm shifting, transformational, challenging. Now, this is interesting because he breaks it down by department. He said under 20% of accounting and IT staffers want to be challenged, yet 43% of the engineering department does. So if you're dealing with accounting and IT, they don't want their paradigm challenged, but engineering people do. Go, hang on, there's another way of doing this. There's a way you haven't thought about. Hang on, you're not looking at this the right way. Look at this. Over 50% of marketing and IT people prefer a salesperson who's going to listen and match a solution to solve their specific needs. The sales department equally preferred having a salesperson listen and solve their needs and being challenged. So marketing, a little different than sales. So let's take this, the sales department, engineering people, they do want to be challenged. HR was equally split across 3 selling styles. So here we want to make sure we're doing drills to actually challenge and come up with solutions that, so in other words, you're not an order taker, you're actually a professional advisor and even challenging. And when we look at some of the data on selling to the C-suite, one of the things you want to be challenging the C-suite on, Chief Financial Officer, Chief Executive, Chief Marketing, Chief HR, is pain points or threats that they may not have thought about or seen. In other words, here we're coming to save their backside. We've come in on a white horse to save them from a problem they didn't even know they had. So this is critical when it comes to selling to the C-suite, but also realizing you need to read the play and adjust, and a bit like a golfer, be able to play the 7-iron, the 9-iron, and the 1-wood, and the pitching wood. In other words, you can't play all clients the same way. Look at this, 78% of participants who preferred a salesperson who would listen and solve their specific needs with the statement, I try to avoid conflict as much as I can. Look at this. This is this not wanting conflict. And here, conversely, 64% of participants who preferred a salesperson who challenges their thoughts disagreed with the statement and are comfortable with conflict. So somewhere in there you've got to read the play is, are you okay that I challenge your existing thinking? Are you comfortable? Do you want your thinking challenged, or do you actually want me to just deliver what you're asking? Let's take a look. Are you actually asking the right questions? Are you looking at this the right way? So some customers want to be challenged. Point 2, it's really a committee of one. Whenever a company makes a purchase decision that involves a team of people, factors including self-interest, politics and group dynamics will influence the final decision. Tension, drama and conflict are normal parts of group dynamics because purchase decisions typically are not made unanimously. One critical research finding is, look at this, 90% of study participants confirmed that there is always or usually one member of the evaluation committee who tries to influence and bully the decision their way. So you've got to find out who is that person, who is the key or principal decision maker. Moreover, this person is successful in getting the vendor they want selected 89% of the time, almost 90% of the time. In other words, the bully, the major decision maker, the key alpha person in the group wins. So you need to find out who that alpha person is. In practicality, it can be said that a salesperson doesn't have to win over the entire selection committee, only the individual who dominates it. So find out who that dominating person is. We call it read the play. And the more you can do that, before the sale, the better. And that's why you should use our customer planning tool, where you do a pre-meeting evaluation, get 2 or 3 others on your team in the room and work through the customer planning tool, because knowing, as Sun Tzu, the Art of War says, know the enemy, know yourself, need not fear the result of 100 battles. Who are we going into battle with, or at least who are we selling to? And therefore, how do we adjust our strategy even before we walk in the room? Point number 3, market leaders have an edge. In most industries, a single company controls the market. Compared with their competitors, they have a much larger market share, top-of-the-line products, greater marketing budget and reach, and more company cachet. For salespeople who have to compete against these industry giants, life can be intimidating indeed. However, the study results provide some good news in this regard. Buyers aren't necessarily fixated on the market leader and are more willing to select second-tier competitors than one might expect. In fact, only 33% of participants indicated they prefer the most prestigious, best-known brand with the highest functionality and cost. Conversely, 63% said they would select a fairly well-known brand with 85% of the functionality and 80% of the cost. However, only 5% would select a relatively unknown brand with 75% of the functionality at 60% of the cost of the best-known brand. So getting known, branding yourself, having whether it be social marketing or other strategies in place to brand your business, why you're good, social proof that you've been around, social proof that you are not just starting up, so critical. Where's your track record? And particularly, where's your track record with that industry, which I've got to say is something that hit me over the head this week. Again, we talk about the four stages of learning: unconscious incompetent, we don't even know you can't do it; conscious incompetent, now you try it and you realise you're not as good as you thought they were, or in fact you've failed. Conscious competence, we're actually consciously practicing the skills and drills and being aware of what you need to do, and that's a long period. Conscious competence, and then conscious unconscious competence where now you're doing it, you don't have to think about it. In other words, you can dance, you can play guitar, you can kick the football, you can shoot a water polo goal, you can sell without having to think too much because it's so ingrained. And how do you do that? That's done through training, repetition, daily, deliberate practice. And so here, I realised I was consciously incompetent, where I stuffed up, where when I went back and said, why didn't we get that deal? The customer said, Leigh, you didn't give me enough evidence that you'd worked in my industry. And I've got, darn it. And that all happened because I didn't plan. So my recommendations right up front, as part of the customer planning, is immediately come up with a list of company logos of companies similar to the company that you are doing business with, the same industry and or similar. Give the buyer comfort, social proof that you know what you're doing in that industry, be it manufacturing, be it health and safety, be it health, be it accounting, be it law. It makes them feel more comfortable. Point 4, some buyers are price immune. Price does play an important role in the sales process. But it's a frequent topic during buyer conversation, how you handle it. But some are price-conscious buyers, where product price is the top decision-making factor. For price-sensitive buyers, product price is secondary to other decision-making factors, such as functionality or vendor capability. And for price-immune buyers, price becomes an issue only when the solution they want is priced far higher than the others being considered. So again, qualifying to get some idea of, is the buyer price conscious, price sensitive, or price immune? Now let's take a look at this. From a departmental perspective, engineering would be classified as price immune. That is, marketing as price sensitive, and manufacturing, information technology, human resources, and accounting as price conscious. Price conscious. Price conscious, remember, is top decision-making factor. So banking, technology and consulting are price sensitive, while manufacturing, healthcare, real estate and fashion are price conscious. So they're top of mind. Look, it's well worth sitting down and qualifying and thinking about, who am I dealing with? Are they price conscious, price sensitive, or price immune? Price immune. Point 5, it's possible to cut through bureaucracy. The most feared enemy of salespeople today isn't solely from their arch rivals, it's buyers' failure to make a decision. This is because every initiative and its associated expenditure is competing against all the other projects that are wanting funds as well. Do departments have different abilities to push through their purchases and defeat their company's bureaucratic tendency not to buy? And the answer is yes. Based on the research results, sales, IT and engineering have more internal clout to push through their projects as opposed to accounting, HR and marketing. Therefore, they're better departments to sell into from a salesperson's perspective. So, sales, IT and engineering have more internal clout to push through. So now how do you pitch and sell your product or service through the sales, IT and engineering rather than accounting, HR and marketing? And point 6, 6 reasons salespeople win or lose a sale. Point 6, charisma sells in certain industries. Imagine 3 salespeople, you've pitched products that are very similar in functionality and price. Which would you rather do business with? A professional salesperson who knows their product inside and out, but not necessarily someone you would want to be a friend with. B, a friendly salesperson who's likable and proficient in explaining their product. Or C, a charismatic salesperson who you truly enjoyed being with, but's not the most knowledgeable about their product. So, what happens? While the top selection in every industry was a friendly salesperson, the media and fashion industries selected charismatic salesperson more than most. In other words, doesn't have to be an expert, but is fun, charismatic, great to be with. The manufacturing and healthcare industries had the highest percentage of professional salesperson responses. In other words, someone who knows a lot about the product inside out, but it's not necessarily someone you want to go to dinner with or be a great friend of. Many salespeople behave as if the buyers are rational decision makers. Oh, that's a good point. In reality, human nature is complicated and a mix of factors, some rational, some not. So you need to determine how buyers evaluate their sales reps and who they select. Ultimately, it's the mastery of the intangible, intuitive human element of the sales process that separates winners from losers, which again comes back to the other article in Harvard Business Review quite a while ago, Greenberg saying that the two key factors that successful salespeople need are empathy and ego. Ego, desire to win, hang in on the deal, don't back off, stay in there, don't take no for an answer, be willing to keep questioning, keep drilling, hang in on the deal because you want to win it, do what it takes. And empathy being maintaining rapport, likability, have a laugh, can read the play, not blinded thinking about their own next question or point, but reading the play and aiming to connect at a human level. A heat-seeking missile was the metaphor they used. A heat-seeking missile, knowing exactly where they're heading, keep adjusting, which again is the NLP point of the importance of flexibility, flexible behaviour, sensory acuity, but at the same time being willing to change behaviours, laugh, get closer, back off, challenge, don't challenge, apologise, hang in there, the sales dance. It's a great article. 6 Reasons Salespeople Win or Lose a Sale from Steve W. Martin, writer and academic from University of Southern California, Marshall School of Business. Hope you enjoyed that because there's so much in there around everything from, as it says, some customers want to be challenged, a committee of one, who is the decision maker, the market leaders have an edge, so branding, how you brand yourself, how you get your story out there on a consistent basis. Some buyers are price immune. How price sensitive or price conscious are your buyer? Is the buyer in front of you? Are they able to cut through the bureaucracy and get a decision made? So what's the decision-making process? How do we speed that up? How do we support that decision? They're all questions that are in the colour zone selling system and the POMVIC system. And, of course, charisma sells in certain industries more than others. It's a technical knowledge, charisma, and ideally, of course, you have a combination of both those. So I hope that helps. Take a look at that article. Want more? Then touch base with us at leighfarnell.com or sellserveprosper.com. Take advantage of one of our workshops. And, by the way, at esme.com. Let me just check that. SME. What do you mean SME, Leigh? sme.com.au, ESSEMY.com.au is where I now have a number of workshops up and offered so that people can see what am I actually offering there. And what you'll see is we've actually put up on the SME platform everything from foundational sales skills, full day and half day workshops, smart goal setting, individual and team goal setting, sales transformation, working with leaders for improved sales results, half day, 1 day, 2 day workshops there, improving customer service with the Everyone Sells, Everyone Serves program, internal and external customer service culture, strategic planning for leadership teams, invent your future. Very powerful program, half day, 1 day, 2 day programs there. And I'm going back to some of the work I did way back in wellness and the power of positive psychology and personal and business well-being, because we know mental health is such a big issue these days. And I did a lot of work in this, both when we set up our Positive Workplace Foundation and also the work from my master's thesis. So I thought I'll do an offering there, a half-day workshop on workplace wellness, but particularly with the view to positive psychology and a positive culture, positive workplaces. So whether it be sales, leadership, goal setting, sales transformation within a company, a service-based culture with the Everyone Sells, Everyone Serves, invent your future strategic planning. Take a look at that at SME. What's it stand for? Subject matter expert, but it's ESSEMY.com.au. And touch base, let's do it. Whether you're in real estate, finance, banking, government, telecommunications, tourism, vineyards, media sales. I've done work in all those industries, manufacturing as well. We've done work in all those industries and with great success. So and education, of course, is another one. So touch base with us. Let us help you sell more, serve more, prosper more, create the future that you want. Invent your future. See you soon.
If you work the system will work for you. The CZ6 Color Zone Selling System. Get your free 6-week challenge now at www.sellserveprosper.com.
Well, I hope you got something out of that podcast where Martin does explain the 6 reasons to win or lose a sale. He's backed it up with data and statistics. It really is fantastic. The key thing for you, though, is what action points you're going to take out of it. 1, I recommend using the customer planning tool. 2, I recommend you do regular drills in the blue zone, discovering need. 3, I do recommend you also come up with drills around how to challenge and provide insight, what insight you bring to the table, whether you're selling accounting services, whether you're selling legal services, whether you're in retail. Something you mightn't have thought about was that would be a very good exercise. Something you may not have thought about, something actually you're not asking the right question there. What you need to be asking is just to challenge, and of course you might want to ask the person, are you willing to be challenged? Are you serious? How serious are you? That's asking what we call some of the hard questions. So you want to find out more, touch base with us. In the meantime, do take action. Maybe listen to the podcast again. Share this with friends or colleagues. If you like it, tell us. If you don't like it, tell us. What do you want to know about? How can we help you sell more, serve more, prosper more? Whether you're new to sales, whether you even think, I need a upgrade, I need to take my sales game to the next level. Either way, join us. Let us help you sell more, serve more, prosper more. LeighFarnell.com, or as we said, SME.com.au, or you can touch base on Facebook or LinkedIn via direct message. Whichever way you want to reach out. I'm looking for 1, maybe 2 clients in the new year to help transform sales results and sales teams. Managing directors, chief execs who want to sell more, let's get together. Let's make things happen. See you soon. Thanks for listening. Put the tools for sales success into the hands of as many people as possible. Sellserveprosper.com. Let's share the revolution. Join the revolution. You need the revolution. The revolution needs you. Your friends need to be part of this revolution. So we create a sales and service revolution in your country, in your town, right around the world, because everyone needs to know how to sell, serve, so we all prosper. Please share it. It means the world to me. It'll mean the world to your friends as well. Put the tools for success into their hands. Go for it. Vive la révolution.